Money Radio, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Joining us now, Laura Bramnick from TalkRealEstateAZ.com. TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Laura is an attorney, also a real estate agent, and a consumer advocate, and she works with people on residential, commercial, and land transactions. Licensed through the State Bar of Arizona, specializing in real estate. Holds an active Arizona real estate license. More info at 480-624-2705, 480-624-2705, and you answer your own phone.
I do.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Sinclair.
Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
TalkRealEstateAZ.com, that's the website to remember. All the contact info is there. TalkRealEstateAZ.com. I mentioned commercial. Let's talk about commercial today.
Okay.
And give me an update, if you will, on what's going on with commercial mortgages. I know for a while money was kind of tough to come by.
Yeah, they basically came to a halt, when we had our housing bubble. I know we've talked a lot about residential, but the commercial market suffered as well.
Yeah.
And
you can see that when you drive around town. Still a lot empty stores.
A lot of vacancies. I totally agree with you. And retail and office probably suffered the most.
Mm-hmm.
And what do if you have a commercial loan? You don't have the same government programs available to you. So you contact your lender, and a lot of times they ended up doing a short sale or just walking away. And there is no deficiency protection on commercial loans, so a lot of those people end up having to file bankruptcy.
In fact, a lot of those commercial loans, they're looking for a personal guarantee, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the big issue with commercial. I very, very rarely see a commercial loan without a personal guarantee, which means that, if your business goes under, they can go after you personally, and that can force you to file bankruptcy.
That's
because
tough.
A lot of these loans are big loans.
Yeah.
Now, I have negotiated recently for a few clients. Let's say they have a long-term loan. I have been able to negotiate, if it's a private investor, a personal guarantee that ends, let's say, after 5 years if the client pays on time. Those kinds of things. So that's helpful. But it's important, if you own a business, to set up your business properly, meaning LLC, corporation, and put your assets in the place where it needs to be to protect you the most.
Very important that you get the structure right to begin with.
Yes, yes.
Save a lot of headaches down the road. But that was an interesting point that you mentioned private money.
Mm-hmm.
Many times, particularly for commercial, it is private money.
Yeah, and it can be several things. If you're buying a building, let's say, it may be that the seller takes a carryback.
Uh-huh.
And that's good for the seller because they have a source of income and they're getting higher interest rate than they can in a bank, and maybe they're a little bit squeamish about the stock market right now. So it can be good for the seller.
I wonder why, yeah.
And
but they're looking for a better return than they can find in the stock market, and less volatility. Makes sense.
And they have a lien, which means if you don't pay, they know they can get the property back.
Right.
So also, when you do commercial loans, the DoddFrank law that puts such strict limits on residential carrybacks doesn't apply. So you have more freedom in the type of loan you can get, and as a seller, you have more freedom in the type of terms you can offer.
But really, probably more important to really make sure that the structures are set up properly for both the buyer and the seller.
Yes, and also banks and institutional lenders have really eased their lending programs. So it's much easier to get a loan from a bank or an institutional lender. And the best place is still SBA loans.
I was about to ask, what about, they're still doing SBAs?
They're still doing SBAs, and SBA will lend up to 90% loan to value, where
Wow.
other commercial lenders usually will want a little more money. They want you to have a little more skin in the game.
Right.
But the best place to go if you're looking at a bank is to go where you bank with your business. They know you, they deal with your assets, usually, you know, if you have a business, you get to know the people at your bank pretty well.
Mhm. What about refi? Because rates should be pretty low right now.
Yeah, refinance is good, but then you have an issue with the loan to value, and you may have to pay down your principal in order to get the rate that you really want. It just depends on the value of your property. And, you know, we're doing a lot better in terms of the stability of our market, but it's still increasing slowly, so it really depends on what part of the city you are and how underwater you were in the bubble, and, you know, a lot of different issues, but
And what segment of the commercial market you're in, because that
Yes.
covers a wide range of things.
yes, that's true. There's certain commercial areas that are not doing well. You know, like you said, you and I see abandoned buildings
Yeah.
and even office space. It just depends
Oh,
on where you're
I
located.
drove into an office complex the other day and was just amazed that everything was a nice looking building, but it was just empty.
Yeah. The other thing is that it's interesting because the lenders have a lot more options if you're borrowing more than $250,000. I guess it's just better for them in terms of the higher loan amount. And
Mhm.
if you're borrowing less than that, your interest rate's going to be higher. It's not as attractive to investors.
Okay, you do all kinds of commercial real estate transactions.
Yes, I do many types of commercial real estate transactions, mostly office condos, medical offices, strip centers, those kinds of things, leases and purchases.
Leases can get real complicated as
Yeah,
well.
commercial leases, you know, I draft both residential and commercial. Residential lease is about 7 or 8 pages. A commercial lease can be 60 or 70 pages. And it's got so much legalese in there that I don't recommend that anybody sign one without really knowing what's in there.
And as you say, personal guarantees show up on commercial property all the time. Makes it so important that you get the structure right to begin with.
And this is a community property state, so if your spouse that's not in the business, you can be bound by what kind of loans are taken out on behalf of that business.
Know exactly what you're getting into and
Correct.
work with somebody who really is a consumer advocate.
Right.
And that's Laura Bramnick from TalkRealEstateAZ.com. And the phone number, 480-624-2705, 480-624-2705. And yes, Laura does answer her own phone. TalkRealEstateAZ.com. All the contact info is there as well. TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thanks, Sinclair.